Hey, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Lakers on YouTube. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. They say, Andy, in the NBA, they don't want any news to overshadow the playoffs. Wednesday was a massive failure in that regard across the leagues. Let me know if I'm missing something here. Scott Brooks out in Washington. Stan Van Gundy out in New Orleans. Donnie Nelson, president or GM or whatever they call him, out in Dallas.
Yeah, he was in a feud apparently with Bob Voulgaris, who was brought in as like an analytics guy, something of a development guy by Mark Cuban. There were reports coming out that he and Luka Doncic weren't getting along. Mark Cuban said that the reports were, quote, bullshit. Turns out, I think Mark Cuban was the one that was full of bullshit.
We'll see. So that all of that stuff's happening. Nate Bjorkgren already fired after a year in Indiana. Brad Stevens is moving around. All the shuffling going on in Boston. It has been a dramatic Wednesday, kind of a dramatic offseason. Stuff seems to be accelerating. You know what the common denominator is to all of this, Andy? None of it has anything to do with the Lakers.
Wow.
Zero drama on a day, though, the most dramatic day the NBA has produced in a long time. None of it has anything to do with the Lakers. And that is a refreshing piece of news for Lakers fans, I think.
Yeah, we are not far removed from the Lakers being just a constant factory of just bad news and drama and turmoil and rumors. And it was just never, ever stopping. Mm-hmm. And the last few years, while there were issues with this season, they were all limited to the court. And sometimes that's just going to happen.
Guys get hurt. Teams are disappointing, whatever it is. But like the off course, I'd be like, even, people say, oh, that was so long ago. Why are you dredging up the past? We've spent a lot of this week talking about Jason Kidd, who looks very likely, now that every job in the NBA apparently is open, to be going somewhere else perhaps next year. Jason Kidd was hired like 2 years ago with the assumption that he'd take over for Frank Vogel. That was drama. But you look at it, Andy, Frank Vogel is going to be the coach. Rob Pelinka is going to be the GM. Anthony Davis is going to be one star. LeBron James is going to be the other star. And that looks like how it's going to be for the next few years.
One of the things that I think it's worth noting for fans around the league who I'm sure are a bit upset by seeing what's going on right now. And, we feel for you. Like, this has been genuine chaos for a lot of these teams. But I got to be honest, unless your organization's president of basketball operations, who was hired in part to thwart an inter-family ownership coup, unexpectedly quits during a live press conference that he threw despite giving no notice about this to anybody, I'm not impressed. I mean, like, a lot of these organizations are really going to have to step up.
That's
before
true.
I really start feeling
Scott Brooks and
something for what they're going
Washington
through.
mutually agreed to part ways. Like, where's the excitement in that? But it reflects.
Well, like when the Lakers, for example, mutually agreed to part ways with Luke Walton, same phrasing, but there was a lot more going on with that mutual parting of the ways. All these organizations need to step up their game before I do more about this other than just reporting and commenting on it. Like, you're going to have to do a lot more to make me care. Sorry. Yeah. Like, it takes a lot to impress somebody who's been around the Lakers.
And the fact that the Lakers have been relatively drama-free for 2 years now and appear that they're going to stay that way for 2 or 3 years going forward. At least they have the foundation laid for that. I'll even go so far as to say, Andy, that they've probably already got at least an idea and a plan and an understanding that when LeBron decides, you know what, guys, I'm going to retire, I'm going to step back, whatever it is, I think they probably have an idea or an understanding of what that evolution might look like. It is a wonderful place in that regard for the Lakers and Lakers fans to be. I don't know if it'll translate to titles. I don't know if they'll be winning 18, 19, and 20. But at the very least, we won't be dealing with Wednesday's news where the Lakers are the headlines, it seems like, for a little while.
Yeah, I feel very confident about the future with Anthony Davis, Bronny James, and KCP's son. I think it's going to be a really smooth transition to that next era. I look forward to it.
And head coach Rich Paul. All right, yes. We will see. Make sure you subscribe to Locked On Lakers on YouTube for all kinds of exclusive content, and we will see everybody next time.